Mom's
Is
phone.
it like James Bond a decade after him or something?
When the camera's on, it's all a big bit of fun on the Big Red Shutter Club. On the Big Red Shutter Club. I'll do.
I'm quite close. Like I can feel it in the hair on me mustache.
That's how close you should be.
A cunt hair away.
Well, hello. And welcome to the Red Shutter Club. I hope you know I'm keeping that in.
Ah! I'll slip something in.
Welcome back to whatever this is. I'm here today with Scouse Jesus himself.
Amen.
Outside of Ross.
How diddly.
So what's up, man?
Not much, just chilling and that.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking enjoying life.
As you do.
Playing some cover gigs, playing some guitar, singing a bit.
Well, tell us a bit about that.
So I was labouring a lot last year, but I've managed to swap it around, do mainly cover gigs for work. Bit of labouring every now and again to remind myself that I'm not shit, you know what I mean?
But you are one of the more active cover gig musicians on the scene. You are always gigging.
Yeah.
Tell us how, please.
Honestly, it's solid, you know. Honestly, I feel like the biggest, if I was going to give someone advice on it, is your talent. It does not directly link to how worthy you are of getting the gig kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it literally is just a numbers game of constantly badgering the fuck out of people over and over again. I feel like I'm badgering people all the time, but everyone's so busy all the time, and half the people in bars are like pissheads anyway, so you just gotta fucking keep getting at them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like most of the time they're not asked, most of the time that's just what it's like. But I just hit all the open mic nights, always like fucking tried every possible way I could fucking get involved with these bars, and eventually after the course of a year, it took me about a year straight until like I've got enough gigs to live off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a long old slog. And I feel like I slightly underpriced myself, but I've kind of based it off like once maybe another year's time when I'm like fucking that many people want to get me playing, then I'll put the prices up to kind of deter me. Then I've got to do less gigs for the same money kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got more time freed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll join another band. No, not really. I'll get my band started.
How many bands are you in?
Dr. Orange. And I'm currently temporarily playing guitar for Lily Almond.
Oh, gotcha. All great names.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're a permanent fixture for Dr. Orange now, yeah?
I think so. But anyway, British Heart Foundation, Heighton Village.
I asked Ross if there was anything he wanted me to specifically bring up. And would you say, was it emphysema?
Yeah, honestly. There's like walking, just an example of how my brain works. Like, and I just wanted to tell this story to someone because I've kept it in for a good month now. On here.
A whole month.
Basically, like, there's this weird, like housey kind of tune that's a bit like boom, boom, boom kind of thing going on in the British Heart Foundation in Heighton Village on a somber Tuesday morning, and she, like, this woman with emphysema walks in, and she's got like the breath, the deepest breath. It sounds like a pure fucking foggy bass of breath. She goes like breathing like in time to the music in key, going ah. I was like fucking pissed me. I had to leave the fucking charity shop because I was pissing myself.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a good moment. That's basically everything that I know about myself so far. that I can tell
In
you.
your 27 years,
Yeah.
that's what you've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we've learned that we're distant siblings.
Yeah, we're distant siblings from the land of Schenectady.
Which is
The
the place you go.
Yeah. It's like
when you wake up
somewhere
too
between
early.
Neverland and reality.
Oh God, this episode's just gonna be one big giant inside joke, and nobody's gonna watch it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, please tune in. I haven't got nothing to plug though, so like it's alright if you don't like. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, what we started this podcast to look at was looking at like success and branding and that kind of stuff. But something interesting is happening when I'm talking to other musicians in town. You are a name that frequently comes up when talking about bests. The word triple threat has been thrown around, not to build up your ego, but you're a killer guitar player, you're a killer singer, and a killer songwriter.
I'll have to.
So, you want to tell us about maybe your songwriting process or something like that? I don't know why I went really New York just then, but...
That's right. I feel like it's evolved over the years. I've like fucking pretty much played guitar my whole life. Like, started when I was 8. But started off doing like folky songs and that, because shout out to John O'Connor. I had a mate, it was his son. Basically, we used to write. He's a cover musician. He's about, don't know how old he is, but he's been doing it for time. But like he was someone I looked up to at the time. Eventually, like wrote loads of songs. I just feel out, process it for time, and just whatever melody came in my head I do. But then signed to Jamie with the Catherine songs. With them, and it's like a proper fucking major pop writing kind of like circuit, and I'd go there for like a this is 20 years like on nearly, like this is like fucking about 5 years ago when this happened, but I'd go there and write for a week, like 11 days for like 5-day week, like it's a job kind of thing, and like some of the songs I'd have like 7 verses, all with different melodies, and like 5 pre's and 4 choruses for the same song. Like I'd overwrite the shit out of everything, and eventually just hone down, kill your darlings, pick which one's the best. Mm-hmm. And then I've kind of took a bit of that and a bit of me feeling out process. So most of the time I'll write the chorus first, and then kind of come back from that. But I even still, I'm like trying to insert pop sensibilities and everything, even like things like phonetics of words of how a chorus would work, because if the chorus is like you know what I mean, like them syllables don't work. If it's like a b, a m, or something hard, like that's probably more likely to be successful as a chorus kind of thing. Loads of little things I'm just like dialing in, and I think if you got like maybe a really wordy verse, you might want a sparse chorus to kind of even out the kind of information that's in the actual song itself kind of thing.
So it's ADHD overanalysis.
yeah. Just overthink the shit out of everything and procrastinate as well. Like, the longer you procrastinate,
Well, I mean, come on now. Time is money.
Yeah.
Don't you even think about me, because time is money, and I'm feeling like I need to get paid.
About 10 minutes here. Is there anything else you want me to ask?
I think Kev Walsh would definitely win the fight. I think that's a simple
I need to
one.
ask you the question first.
Let's do it again.
Also, you don't fucking pay attention to this question because it's supposed to be your raw reaction. So, 2 questions that I'm asking everybody. What is a song you wish you wrote? Is the first one.
So,
within the scene.
It's hard to pick kind of thing, because there's probably like around about 10 musicians that I think are the best. But he's probably one of the biggest, and not just because he's in the room. It might have to be Sympathy for Judas by John Coley.
Well, he actually plugged his ears.
I know. What a sweetheart. And don't know, there's a lot of musicians and a lot of aspects that I'd
give
like
us
to
a couple.
have, or rob. Tabby Jarvis, Canadian Jameson, you, Dr. Orange, Lily Almond, Mike Blue. What else? Fucking, there's plenty. Like, I feel like I'm gonna miss someone out. Oh yeah, obviously John Witherspoon. Yeah, there's too many. I feel like guilty. I feel like I'm gonna miss someone out. Oh yeah, obviously fucking Connor Abraham. Do you know what I mean? Just the rhythm to the chord sequences that he only most of the time he's only using like fucking E, D, and an A chord, but he makes them fucking sing.
He does. He really does. I mean, all of them do. Everyone's got their own style. It's just Like I said, Thomas Bradley cornered me at the Monday Club. I was like, "Oh, Shannon, who's your favourite?" It's like, I don't know, Tom. I don't. I can't tell you. I don't have one. Nah. You gotta have one. You just genuinely don't. You know, when you're in the scene, everybody has like, this person does this really well. This song's really incredible. This song's really incredible. It's so hard to actually pick a favorite.
And you feel guilty as well, don't you?
So second question.
Yeah.
Second question. The entire music scene goes into the octagon, batting it out, throwing bows. Who wins?
Is a Manchester music scene included as well?
Oh, yes.
I feel like I have a good go. Like I got to do at least 50% of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
John Coley definitely has it, and Soosh as well. Fucking, they'd definitely have a go. But yeah, Kev Walsh has. He's probably about 85 kilos, and he's probably been doing boxing and Brazilian jiu-jitsu for the vast majority of his life. So if I was gonna put a bet on anyway at anyone, probably would be him.
Mm-hmm. And I think with that,
Shall we?
listen, save some for the rest of us, Ross. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime. Me brother.
No.
Is there anything you want to plug before you go?
I don't know. Got me Insta there, like.
And a couple other things.
Yeah, a couple other things. And I was just, to be honest, I'm thinking of just sitting it out, getting a decent band together, and then getting them really tight before I even do my first gig as a full band. So I'm probably not going to do anything for the rest of this year unless it's just me. As outsider. But nice one.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go.
So that's roadie school, isn't it? In Wayne's World, when they get an Aerosmith to come and play in the park, they have the roadie.
Actually. Hello, and welcome back to the Wayne's World edition of the Red Shutter Club.
I always thought it'd be good if you could get Wayne's World. Wayne on Wayne's World through, he has Spinal Tap on his next show.
Sorry?
He has Spinal Tap, the band, on his next, his next concert.
Oh, yeah.
He'd have all these spoof bands on. He'd have have Spinal Tap and the Wild Stallions and Foregone Conclusion and the Ruttles.
Tenacious D.
Yeah. You'd have all these spoof bands on this concert.
Just tell us about a bit about music in your life, a bit about being in the Liverpool music scene.
Okay, so I live in South Liverpool. I used to go to Quarrybank School, and all the desks had John Lennon's name carved on them by the kids there, no doubt. Mr. Pobjoy was the headmaster, who was his headmaster apparently. And I live just opposite Paul McCartney's house on the tourist trail. And I always tell the tourists who are getting off the bus, heading down there, and I say, Paul McCartney, he's not in, he's just gone to the shops, you just missed him. So, I write and record a lot of my own stuff. I playing performing since late 60s, early 70s. Mm-hmm. First guitar was a really bad F-hole acoustic, and followed by Woolworth's Audition electric and a little mini amp, which I bought off a schoolmate because he never used it. And that, initially the guitar was that bad, I couldn't play it, and then I learned about slide guitar watching a guitar player called Rory Gallagher and then Joe Walsh, and then I went back to all the blues players and the Stones, of course.
Why did you go with blues then?
It seemed to resonate with me, I really like the style, the playing, and the way it sounded and everything. Peter Green in particular, B.B. King, Muddy Waters. You find out, and then just recently I go to watch a guy called Catfish Keith who comes round. He's from Iowa in the middle of the States, but he was from Chicago area in Illinois. So he comes over playing all his own tunes and all these old guys blues tunes, and he done workshops, so it goes one-to-one workshops on harmonics and how to play certain songs. It breaks it down into little pieces so you can then you take away to learn it yourself. But it's a bit of an insight into how people play. Just recently, I went to see Walter Trout, American blues player. He was on the Epstein Theatre, and sold out. And then within a week or so, the theatre was shut because the council, or the lease didn't run out with the firm, and the private enterprise, the council was supporting it, but they couldn't put any more funding in or something. So I was going to see a band called the Winery Dogs, which features Billy Sheehan out of Mr. Big. They were in Wolverhampton. I just, on a particular day, I couldn't go.
Did you listen to much Robert Johnson?
Robert Johnson, yeah, but he was, say, Eric Clapton, who sort of was its biggest, one of his biggest luminaries, if you like. But Mr. Clapton went off on a bit of a rant. And it sort of put me off him a bit. He went down the rabbit hole with Van Morrison, unfortunately, when COVID was out. And they couldn't go up and play. Well, that was a bit of an eye-opener. Van Morrison was one of my favourites, songwriter and singer. And see him a few times, and last time I saw him, there he is with his band playing on stage, and I could see the stage clock, and around the side, when the stage clock reaches a certain point, he's fulfilled his contract. And he walks off. Band is still playing. Georgie Fame is the band lead at that time, and he's gone in his limo and gone to the airport. This was in the Isle of Man for the Isle of Man motorcycle TT races a couple of years ago, and he's in his plane, and he lives in Bath, and he's on his private plane back to Bath, and the band is still playing. Oh, that was hilarious. The band still played about 10 or 15 minutes after he'd gone. That was quite funny. Neil Young was another one I went to see, and people are shouting out for certain numbers, and Neil got a bit of a weed on because he wants to play his new songs, doesn't he? And he said, "I'm not playing that one." And he storms off.
Well, you gotta balance it a bit. You gotta balance it. I know we went to see the Zombies when they were at the Cavern, and they played a lot of their new stuff. But you gotta do She's Not There. You gotta do Tell Her No. I guess. What sort of advice do you have for people just starting out in music, for getting gigs, for keeping up with it?
I still find it hard to get gigs. You ask people directly. That you got to find out who puts the gigs on, the manager or whoever's running it, and you ask them directly, and they'll either say yes or no, and that's what it comes down to. Yeah, we'll put you on. No, you won't. Don't like what you're playing. Don't like your type of stuff, or we do like your type of stuff. But then again, it varies because a lot of places just want to do covers. Some places just want to do originals. Some places aren't bothered. Some want to pay it, if you're doing a pay gig, they want to pay it very little as possible. You've got to make enough to cover your costs and expenses and travel and all that, depending on how far it is and where it is. If you have other band members and that, to make it worthwhile. So a lot of occasions, and I'd say I don't do certain ones because I just didn't get along with the people who were running it or whatever. Some places I still want to play and I've never got around to playing. And there's Mr. Seagull chipping in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, yeah, still a lot of places. I go to play the Wirral. A lot of gigs round there. Up in Southport yesterday. Out as far as Preston. Manchester. Chester. Alexander's in Chester, good one. I'm just recently I started sitting in with the jazz guys in the Pen Factory on Hope Street. They have once a month they have the Liverpool Jazz Club, and they have all these fantastic players doing all these great editions of it, the songs. Herbie Hancock, Watermelon Man, and there's one in particular. And I found out I can sit in playing slide guitar with them because the slide guitar sort of dips in between the notes they're playing. I can sort of got ghost notes it call and I can ride along with what they're doing. I was amazed myself really because they're I know a lot more than I do, music wise.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is interesting how different genres do overlap like that.
I like folk as well, jazz, classic, rock, and lots of different types of music, and a lot of indie stuff and all that.
Well, here's a question that we're asking everybody. Throughout your time on the music scene, what is a song that you've heard someone else, local or someone that you would have seen back in the day? What is a song that someone else has written that you wish you wrote?
Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it? Well, there's many and varied. Yeah, that's one song I never get sick of is "Freeze All Right Now." That's I think that's possibly my favourite rock song or blues rock song.
Mm-hmm.
And Rory Gallagher, the Irish rock player, blues player. Thin Lizzy was another favourite. Many favourite songs. Boys Are Back in Town and Dancing in the Moonlight.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Don't Believe a Word.
And the other question that we're asking, everybody in the music scene is up to go in an octagon, right?
As well.
Into the octagon, a fight in the music scene.
Oh yeah.
Who are you picking to win?
I can tell you when I was playing in a punk band and they were playing on a particular night on a place called the Swinging Apple in Wood Street, and this particular night it was full of National Front far right skinheads, and our songwriter had this song he used to do called "Fuck the Front," and that went down. We like the Blues Brothers in Bob's Country Bunker, but with no chicken wire. And fortunately for us, two of the Clash were there that night because they were playing on Eric's, and they interceded on our behalf, and we were escorted out the back door.
Well, I think with that we'll head off to our couch concert then.
So I'll introduce myself. I'm Herringbone John Hall, and this is Intercity Blues Train. All aboard! Like a rolling stone, gather no moss, let the grass grow under my feet. I gotta get out, it's dead end street, and ride on the inner city blue train. We'll get them back before you came. Ride on the inner city blue train. race across like a rolling stone. Gather no moss, let the grass grow under my feet. Gotta get off Outline Street, ride on the 80 City Blue train. Get them back before you came. Ride on the 80 City Blue train. Round the loop now, every day again. Blue train. Blue train. Blue train. Blue train.
Thank you so much. That was lovely.
Thanks, Shannon.
So is there anything you want to plug before we get going?
Yeah, I'm currently recording several albums which they're not ready, but they'll be out on my own streaming facility, and also as hard copy CD discs, which I take round as a promos or sell at various concerts, gigs I do. They're not ready yet. The one's can be called Karma Cafe. It's electric. And the others, Everything Tastes Like Chicken, which is a bit more acoustic based. And that'll have 15 tracks on each, more or less. Once I've trimmed them all down. I'm currently on Facebook under the Herringbone John the Kipper Doctors. And Bandcamp and Reverb Nation and a couple of other ones I can't remember. There's that many of them now.
There's too many to
I'm
count.
still not on Spotify or iTunes yet. So, I'm a bit under the radar in that, or under the sonar in my case.
So this is an exclusive then?
It could be, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, John.
No, thanks, Shannon. I've always wondered what this building was like above.
Don't tell everybody where I live.
But you're not there. You're miles away from there.
But all right. So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment if you know what building John was talking about, because I'm definitely going to bleep it out.